Today I'm going to be doing a new lawn series. This is going to be office talk, and I'm going to do truck talk as well. Going on YouTube, I liked a lot of the guys on there like Johnny Moe, where they do office talk, and so I found it interesting, and you get to interact with you guys on YouTube too. So I thought that was cool. So I was like, yeah, I'll go ahead and do that. So in the first episode, I'm going to talk about zero-turn reliability. How many hours can you expect? What mowers am I running? Some insights into owning, a zero-turn, maintaining it, and prolonging the life. And I think as a general overview, the range you're going to be looking at in terms of how long the vehicle is going to, the zero-turn is going to last is between somewhere in the ballpark of 2,000 upwards of 3,000 hours. And some some guys get more. Again, there's a lot of moving parts. There's a lot of factors that go into this, but I think the general life expectancy out of a zero turn is going to be 2,000 to 3,000 hours, and even before that, at the 1,000 to 1,200 hour mark, beyond that, you're going to see some problems developing, and at that sort of mark, that's when the dealer is not really going to want to take it in for trade anymore because it'll have some issues. And again, these are commercial zero turns, so these are mowers that are going to run you anywhere from $7,000 upwards of $10,000. So, they're going to be run hard, depending if you have crews or if it's just a single guy doing it, then it lessens the load a little bit. But there's a lot of different factors. But the first thing I'll go with I'll talk about is general tips to prolong the life of your machine. And how to maximize the investment, how to prolong the machine life. So number one is I would always go with a Kawasaki engine. I tried the Kohlers, I tried Briggs & Stratton Vanguard, and I haven't had luck with either one. The Kohler had a piss poor starter design. It was just absolute piece of crap. I replaced the starter on my Kohler 24 horse engine like 3 times. It was ridiculous. And the Briggs & Stratton Vanguard, I had vapor locking issues and head gasket problems. But when I got to the Kawasaki, didn't have any issues. I've ran on the current mower that I have. I've been running the Kawasaki for 725 hours and haven't had any problems, none. So the number one is I would always spend the extra money. We're talking about air-cooled engines. These aren't going to be diesels. So I think the best out of the options that you have are the Kawasaki's. And just make sure you get the high-end FX series. For instance, I'm running the FX 691V. So that's number one. Make sure you get a good engine. The next thing is what mower to choose. Mower, reliability. The mowers are well built. Skag, Exmark, Bobcat, Toro, all well built mowers. You just want to make sure you have a great dealer support network nearby, so when things go awry, you take it to the dealer and it's professionally serviced. In terms of routine maintenance and stuff like that, you always want to be changing your oil and the filter. For me, manual says every 100 for oil and every 200 hours for the filter. I just change the oil and the filter every 100 hours, so I do that. In addition to that, twice a season, I'll power wash the underside of the deck just to remove all the grass that's under there. Because what happens is, over time, it'll rust out the deck when you get moisture under there, and so that'll decrease the lifespan of your deck. Another thing is greasing all the fittings. Periodically I'll just grease it, and you can check. The grease will extend. It's a tubular frame. And you have all these bolts and stuff around, so you'll see the grease extend out, so you can check it periodically or maintain it. So key thing is maintenance. You want to stay up on all the maintenance of the machine. That's a great way to prolong the life of your machine. Again, on a lot of the guys that I know, they're getting between 2,000 and 3,000 hours on their Exmarks. I think it's reasonable to expect that on the Bobcat. I think 2,000 hours is probably the life expectancy out of an air-cooled gas engine. You'll see on the diesels, the engine on a diesel ZTR will outlast any other single part on the mower. It's just diesels will last so much longer. However, the problem you deal with is when you're looking to buy a mower that has a diesel, after Tier 4 came out, the price skyrocketed on it. You know, it's like 13,000 and up, so it's sort of crazy. Around here, I only see one or two guys running the Kubota diesels, but I imagine they're very reliable machines. So, you know, just maximizing the life expectancy entails just getting a good engine, doing the proper maintenance. You know, some guys, I know they'll just run it till the machine doesn't work anymore, and this can translate to your truck as well. You know, it's like, why buy another $10,000 mower when I can do a $5,000 engine swap, or just work on the transmission, you know, and that's it. And that's the thing with the mowers, you know, the ZTRs. It's like, you know, you want a new engine. I know on mine, which is a 24 horse Cowie, it's $1,700 for the engine, and you know, at 2,000 hours, I mean, that's fine. I mean, the mower costs $7,000. I'll just like that, I get a new engine for it, and get another, and increase the life expectancy even more. I mean, you have, but realistically, you know, you think the air-cooled engine will last probably 2,000 hours, and the hydros, you'll probably get like 3,000 hours or something like that out of them, and just replace those as well. And those might be more expensive. Those might be like close to $2,000, similar to what the engine was. But I think it's always this, from a cost efficacy standpoint, is, you know, you do the proper maintenance on the machine, you ensure you have a reliable engine, make sure, you know, read up on the mower, look at the reviews, make sure it's a reliable machine, it doesn't have major defects. You know, do the proper maintenance, and you should be fine. And you know, when your engine finally goes, or when the transmission goes on it, I think it's best to just replace it rather than get a upwards of $10,000 new machine. Now, the other problem is, I think that when you're looking at 3,000 hours, 2,000 to 3,000 hours plus of life expectancy, you know, that's going to be severely constrained when you have large fleets of guys that are working on them. You know, because employees, they're not going to take care of the equipment like an owner will. You know, you paid $10,000 for that mower. That's you know, there's a lot of money for that machine, and you'll see that employees, you know, they don't give a shit. So they'll just floor it into curbs, and you know, and then if you have them, you know, if you make them take care of the maintenance, they may not be doing it. So you know, it's like, what can you do? But I think you should have either a dedicated mechanic, or, you know, take all your machines to a shop rather than have them do it, because it can cause big problems there. And, you know, just tell them to be a little more careful with the machines, you know, just running into the rock sidewalls of beds, and but so that can really put a beat on the equipment. I know with the 2-cycle equipment, when I had some employees, they would just throw it in the truck, and you know, they just didn't care. So it's all about how you take care of it. But I think 2,000 or 3,000 hours is very realistic. But even for the mower, you know, even on some of the higher end, the higher priced mowers, you know, when you're looking at $10,000 X marks, it's you know, like, let's say your average long cut was $30 a cut, you're looking at probably 333 long cuts before you break even. That's a break even point on that mower, and that's probably a month and a half worth of cutting. So those are some general tips there. I mean, I just recommend Kawasaki, Bobcat Ferris, Exmark, or Skag, and yeah, it's not necessarily do you have the $12,000 or $13,000 mower. You know, if you get a mower for $7,000 or $7,500, I mean, it's perfectly fine. It'll last you. Just make sure it's a commercial machine. You know, I've tried using the residential ones for commercial purposes, and it just doesn't work. So you want to make sure it's designed for the sort of work you're doing. But those are, yeah, it's just get a Kawasaki, get one of the big name brands, make sure you have good dealer support in your area, so if things go wrong, they can be professionally serviced and maintained. And yeah, just take care of the machine, and it'll last you a while. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. That was the first edition of Office Talk, or it's my room. So yeah, I hope to, during the day when I'm out mowing or working, I'll try and shoot some clips here and there. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed that video. Be sure to comment, like, subscribe. You can check out the description below. I have most of the equipment that I use down there and some other cool stuff too. So thanks for watching, guys. Have a good one.